I guess, let's see,
Aurelius.
I'll do it. Do you want me
Aurelius,
to...
same deal. 6 and 6.
All right.
Determined.
Do you want me to roll for each of my manners or just once?
Um, you'll have to roll for each one. Yeah.
Hmm. One. I'm the master of
Okay.
stewards.
You gain 18. Did you get 6, 6, and 6? And they're all spent to maintain it. No tribute, no impoverishment. All right. You are not knight errants, so we skip stable ship. Family roles. Would any of the unmarried knights like to get married? Or make a
Oh,
courtesy roll with their lord to
Who's
improve their
still not
standing?
married so far?
I will make another courtesy roll.
Okay.
I will as well.
Aurelius and Rook are not married.
I wouldn't mind a woman who cooks good. I'll seek courtesy from the Lord
All right.
after, of course, Aurelius, who is my senior.
Okay, so Aurelius presents himself well to the Lord. Earl Roderick. Bum, 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 bum. Earl Roderick's like, Aurelius, it is excellent to see you. I heard that you had something of a falling out with Lady Indig.
I found that my fellowship of the Lord and his of the Lord Jesus Christ and his ways made me incompatible in certain ways to the lifestyle she was seeking.
I see. Well, I'm sure that I can find you a good Christian girl if that's what you're looking for. Are you looking for a good Christian wife this season?
Let's see. I
Or are you
currently
simply
have
looking
a.
to add a +1 modifier to your future marriage table?
He just comes up and says that.
I think I'd currently have a +2 now because I succeeded last time.
Yep.
Um. You know what? I'll go ahead and do it.
Okay.
All right. So, what should I be rolling?
Let's see here. You will need to roll a d20, and then you will add plus 2, right? Because you just get another +1, so +2.
All right.
You got a 20. You are married to the daughter of Vassal Knight.
Nice.
Can you roll 3d6 real quick? Yep, 3d6.
That's pretty much the best that you can get, actually, without getting.
She is the 5th daughter. She has one brother who will, of course, inherit. And, you get 6 pounds for marrying her and 100 glory.
All right. And do we have a name for this fair lady?
Interesting. I will take suggestions for a name. Anyone got anything?
Honor.
I don't know that Honor is a female name, although I guess Honor Ratio, whatever her name is. I will accept that. Except it will be spelled Honoure.
Damn it. I was actually going to name my next host that. No, that's his wife. Okay.
So that was Hounore.
I'm going to put it in the chat. Is the fake European spelling Honor?
It's the first thing I could think of that came out, especially for someone like Aurelius.
Aurelius, she is a good
I was going to suggest like a name like Ella or
woman,
something
Christian
like that,
woman.
which is like slightly Frenchish.
Her brother is Sir Lilacs, the undisputed.
Yeah, this shit is. I like that.
Yes, he is Sir Lilac.
So how much glory do you have, Eric?
I currently have 1643.
Okay, so she's gonna gain 1,000 glory. You get 100. I will send you a character sheet for her next time, but again, assume she has a 12 stewardship. Rook,
Oh,
talk to me.
so I heard Sir Ella tell my brother that he needed to have a child. He never had the chance, but I still do. I like to get married,
Okay.
preferably someone who cooks real nice.
Okay.
Uh,
All right, you have a courtesy roll. Sir Elid, or Earl Roderick is like, yes, Rook, terrible what happened to your brother, was it?
Dobbin, yes.
Yes, Dobbin. We should get you married as soon as possible. I will not have you continuing to... Not to insult a guest, but my feast hall is not a place for you to lay about for 6 months. We need to get you home with someone who is a cook.
Oh,
You can roll on the D20 chart.
I'll go and roll now. There's no reason not to.
Yep, you have a +1 for...
Wait, I thought you can't. You only get the +1 if you don't. If you
Oh,
wait.
that's right.
Ah.
Well, either way, you
Either way,
married
it's a
the
daughter
daughter
of a
of a
squire.
squire. Roll a D6.
No, it's just it's just 3. Right?
No, you roll a D6 to determine which number daughter.
Oh, yeah, okay.
10 glory. 10
Okay,
whole
you marry
glory.
his eldest daughter. You marry... I will take suggestions for a name.
I'm gonna put Ella.
Ella?
Yeah.
Ella marries... Rook.
Ilwyn.
Ew, and yeah. That's
We'll save that one for later. I'm sure you guys have to get married.
yeah.
She is a cook.
Perfect. Oh, thank you, my lord.
Her father is Squire Ricardus.
The Cardis?
Ricardus. Latin. For Richard.
Ella, daughter of Squire Lardis.
So you gain 10 glory and she gains 1,000 glory. So we know who got the better end of that deal.
I did. She's a cook.
All right, let's do children rolls.
All
Oh,
right.
All of you, since you have lives, you're entitled to roll on the chart. If you would like to pay for a kept woman, you may pay £1, and you will have had a woman with you all year for the purposes of having a child with or personal entertainment, whatever you want to.
I think 13 is good, isn't it? Is that twins?
Holy shit!
All the twins.
Sir Robert, you
Yeah.
have twins. As the servant, you also have twins. Rook, you
Oh,
gain
God.
no children, and Aurelius, you have a child with your new wife who dies at childbirth with the child.
Oh,
It's a
shit.
time of great mourning.
Oh,
Honor.
Aurelius, many young women from all around the county come to console the widower. Even the Lady Indig, who you have greatly offensed and spoken about at court with the Earl, comes to you and expresses her condolences.
Well, you had a wife for 1 minute.
Perfect. Dude,
No.
now you've got
Your
child.
father was captain of a
Neil,
starship
you're
for 2
sorted.
minutes and 37 seconds.
Yeah.
9
Aurelius
months.
is going to spend some time absolutely inconsolable
Okay.
at his in his chapel.
He had a wife for 9 months.
Agony.
Immediately dies. All right, Robert, what are your twins' names and genders?
Let me roll first to see what they are. 2d6, right? Oh, I had 2 sons. Awesome.
And their
I have
names?
a daughter and a son.
Okay, coming up with names. Can I take a little time to think of it since I might end
Sure,
up playing?
sure.
These are probably characters I'll end up playing.
Oh yes, they will almost certainly be characters you play
Yeah.
down the road.
So I'm gonna take some time
So
to
let me-
think of names.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have a child already that they're continuing to care for?
Yes.
Okay. Roll a d20. Your child is ill this year but lives. And who was that? What was the young
Rowena.
Rowena? A rough life for you, my friend.
Your wife dies after 9 months, and your child is sick. Your bastard
Something
child.
about you and women. You're pretty much the Kirk here.
I'm what?
You're the Kirk. You like have relationships with whatever the woman of the week is, and then they die by the end of the episode. Okay, everyone will roll a d20 on the family events table. We'll figure out what happened to your family this week.
Yeah.
Rook,
7s.
you had a marriage in your family, Rook.
Yes, there was. I just married.
Sherman, you also had a marriage in your family. Robert, you had a marriage. Aurelius, nothing happened in your family. The other three of you, can you roll a d20 to see who it was? Thurman, your mother got married again. Your
God.
mother's
thought she
still
was
alive?
dead.
Is she
I
dead?
thought she was dead.
Roll again. Rook, 18 is your grandmother.
Oh,
Cousin.
sorry.
Grandmother's still alive?
She's still kicking around.
Okay, well, she got remarried.
She makes great
Sir
treats.
Robert, your brother got married. Your brother
Okay.
alive? Do you have a brother?
Yeah, I have a brother.
Okay, well, he got married. Is he your heir?
He was.
Well, he's still your heir now, right? Oh no, right?
Oh.
You have kids now.
Yeah, 2 sons.
Okay, well, mark down that he has a wife, and if we have to come back to that, we'll figure out the name of his wife at that point.
Okay.
Sermon, your cousin got married, and that's a good out. Have to come up with anything there. Okay, anyone that has a wife can roll a d3 to see how many extra skill points they get this year.
Now, that suddenly doesn't become relevant.
So you roll a die 3.
Yep. And if I haven't given you your wife yet, your wife's stats, just make sure to write down that they get that many. So we have young Devitt, heir to Sermond, and young Serena, his daughter. Okay, and now we are on training and practice. During this step, you can choose any of the following 3 things, any one of them. Gain 1d6 plus 1 points in any skills, any knightly skills, up to 15. Gain 1 point in a skill, cannot exceed 20. Or improve an attribute, trait, or passion by 1 point.
Robert's
your
gonna
choice.
go for sword. He's
Okay.
gonna practice sword all winter, and then he's gonna challenge the brothers, one of them, to a duel at the end of the winter, when he's gotten better at sword this year.
Which one will you challenge?
Any one of them, I'll challenge them all. I'll say, damn it,
all of
that-
them. You will
this
fight them
cannot
all in
continue.
order?
This cannot continue. I'll challenge any one of them this year. I will fight one of you every year.
I see. Oh,
I'll fight
then
one
that's
of you,
actually a
whoever.
really cool challenge, right?
Every year, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be a pretty Arthurian legend. We'll come back to that in a moment because we're definitely fighting that one out.
I'll choose a
He
D6.
loses to every single one of them.
They kill him right in front of their sister and then loot his body.
Wow. 4
So
points.
one thing to remember is that they were basically living at your house, right? So for you to challenge them, you'd have to do it off of your own land.
Okay.
Because, guest
They're
right.
living
you
at my
can't-
house? Aren't they living at their house?
No, they're living in your house.
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, so
So you gotta
I'll
take
take
them out to
hunting
the
one day.
forest and then
I'll take them hunting one day, and then I'll challenge them. And I'll tell, they'll be messing with me and be like, damn it, This cannot continue any longer. I will not abide by this. Slide to my honor.
Has everyone made their choices and skills?
Yep.
Yeah. So if you wanted to up a trait, you added 1, right?
Yep, you can't go above 19. You can add 1 to it. Alright, you all received your glory from play. Hopefully you added your glory from money. If you have any traits or passions above 16, you add that value to your glory as well.
Questions. I now have 3 manners, so how much glory do I get?
You get 18 because you got
Wait, was
18 pounds.
Was it 16 that was added, or is it just 1 for if you have a 16 or higher?
If you have a 16 or higher, you add that number.
Okay.
So if you have a 16 in a skill, you get 16. If you have an 18, you get 18.
And it's not in skills, only traits and passions, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
traits and passions.
Oh boy, I got 16 honor glory for being indulgent.
All right.
And it has to be only 16 and higher.
Did anyone pass the 1,000 barrier?
I think
2,000, you mean?
I
You
did.
look almost certainly should have, right?
I'm at 1383.
Okay, you will gain 1 bonus point that you can put into any attribute, trait, passion, skill, or combat skill, increasing it by 1.
Any
No
passion?
rules. You can put it in whatever you want to take it however high you want.
And I sermoned also reached another 1,000.
You've passed the 2,000 barrier?
I'm at 2,696.
Yep, you're
I think I'm gonna increase my valor because I'm tired of running
So-
away.
Okay.
On a note with the sad death of his wife, Aurelius will spend, after he has spent some time in contemplation, he will, for the time of the winter, he will wander through the land, finding poor unfortunate souls, and give away his 6 pounds of dowry to those, and try and help the people within the land and preach the gospel.
Interesting.
6 pounds is a lot,
Welcome.
man. You could build a church in that much.
You already built a church.
Oh.
So,
A
yeah.
chap-
I now have a sword
You're like
skill
6.
of 18.
Is a lot.
We'll come back to that. That's interesting. So, what's going to happen with your battles, Sir Robert, is that every year during solo scenarios, you're going to have to face one of the brothers.
Sounds good.
So that's not going to happen until next year. But now all
right.
7 of them are training all year long to be the one.
7? I
that
thought there were
pick.
4. Like, okay.
I thought there were 7. Okay, there's only 4 then. 4. Go with 4.
You can double check that.
Yeah,
No,
there
no,
were-
4's fine. The
still
ass whooping
worthy.
can be laid out whenever it needs to be.
4 men studying your tactics, planning how to fight.
Spend all
I've
year
become-
living in your house.
And I've finally become truly a great swordsman. I now have 18.
Hey, so do I become a banneret because these monkeys live in my house?
Nope. They don't owe any loyalty to you.
Oh, we'll see.
Not
They will.
yet, anyway.
They will.
Okay.
That would be an awesome conclusion to it if they swear loyalty each year. Just saying.
All right. So
And they have
we
to have-
begin the year 487 with the spring feast. Royal court is held in Sarum, in your home county. The Earl of Salisbury is host to King Other, his vast court household, along with Prince Madoc and his retainers. There are a large number of noblemen and other retinues that also join the court. And as we zoom in from space on the Isle of Britain down to Castle Sarum, we see an old farmer and his wife sitting outside the castle next to a tower on a very familiar looking bench. The man's like, I hate it when the king comes here. Everyone gets moved around. After a hard day of work, I can hardly even remember where I'm supposed to sleep. The woman's like, oh, not me. I'm glad to have him and his army here. Who knows what those Saxons are going to do next? They're all over the place. Certain lands have been devastated by the wars there. Did you hear? Praetor Seragius went and visited the kings of Malahut and Cornwall. They turned him down flat. Too many Saxons and Irish on the island to leave their domains unprotected, they say. Oh, by the way, where's that Merlin now? Good riddance to that son of a devil, I say. So at the court, You have, of course, King Uther sitting in Earl Roderick's chair. You also have Prince Madoc and Duke Ulfius sitting off to the side where they're spreading news around. Uther is handing out royal conversation. There are dozens of servants here, but they all seem to be talking about the same thing. What would you guys like to do?
Oh shit! I'm not very
Alright.
hungry.
Rook,
I'm not very hungry.
you try to get in on that conversation, right? And you spend most of your time like...
That was indulgent, not intrigue.
Oh, was
That's-
it?
That was how hungry I
Oh,
was.
I see. You critically failed it.
Oh,
That was
Okay,
weird.
servant. You're trying to talk to all the servants, right? It turns out that your wife is like following you everywhere and doing everything for you. So every time you're trying to talk to a servant, she's like, "Oh, let me do that, servant. Please, please, let me butter your bread." So you're like, "Okay, I'm gonna go up to the servant. I'm gonna pretend like I'm getting my bread buttered, and I'm going to get the down low." And then your wife's like, "Bam! I'm here."
All right. I think Robert's gonna start like recognizing knights from the battle, and then try and like make polite conversation with all of them, chat about the battle
Okay.
and all of that.
You can make
Yeah.
a recognize check.
I'll make a recognize, and let's see, do I recognize any
better
knights?
recognize.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright.
that reminds me. I forgot to. Sometimes I have to do rebuttals of things that I've said earlier that are totally wrong. For instance, Gwiona being Gwiona instead of Gwena. Also, the first thing I said on the first night was that I'm not going to make you guys roll intelligence because what you know is more important than what your character knows. And last time we had you guys questioning whether you know that upside down crosses were evil and stuff.
Yeah.
I was having you guys roll for that. You should have recognized that automatically.
I
Okay.
So, in the case of Aurelius, he's going to search to see if Bishop Dobricus is present here.
Oh, Bishop Dubricus is present. He follows the king wherever he goes as he is his personal confessor.
So-
Just real quick, I want to move Sir Robert aside and get that underway. Sir Robert, you recognize the man who led your assault and got most of the glory and the ransom for it.
Sir Amig. Yes.
And Sir
Alright.
Amig is... his belt is a little tighter now. His clothing is a little fancier. And he's standing in a hallway, kind of holding sway over a number of squires, where he's like telling the tale of the Battle of Meercreed Creek. And he's like, "Yes, I was there when Robert struck down 2 men so quickly. He struck like a snake, like lightning." And he says, "There he is now." My
Can I come
God,
up to him and
I
insult
would
him?
never have survived without Robert in my squad. What a man. And the squires are like, "Oh, there he was." And someone else is like, "Robert is truly blessed by nature. The triple goddess watches over him."
Can I come up and insult that battle commander because he was terrible?
Okay, are you going to offer
Look.
insult in the hall?
Yeah, I'm gonna insult him in front of everyone.
Just to be clear, this is a non-nightly. It's not like super on-nightly, but it is a non-nightly thing to do.
No, it's not like it's just like saying like you caused all those knights to die from your incompetence.
That's a lot worse than what I
Yeah.
was thinking.
That's
That's
no
really
count.
bad.
Would I
Okay,
lose honor?
you're set on doing that.
Would,
No, you
would
won't
this-
lose honor from this, but
Okay.
let me mark down here.
I'm
Certainly have an
vengeful.
enemy
I'm
out of
doing
it, though.
I'm super vengeful.
Yeah.
So why don't you roll for your vengeful real quick, just to make sure that you don't accidentally.
I'm
do
super
this.
hungry, but I'm not very hungry right now.
Oh yeah, so you're just like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever I want." You're like, "Sir Amig, you caused all those knights to die. You were the force of their death." And he's like, Damn your eyes, Sermon. I will see you on the battlefield for this. And
Yes,
Earl
mortal
Roderick, like, out of nowhere, Earl Roderick just appears out of the crowd. He's like, good nights. I know that under my hospitality... Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta do the Earl Roderick voice.
Wait. You gotta do the crown as well.
Yep.
Yeah. There we go.
Good nights. I know that in my house, in front of my king, you are not quarreling. Delay your duel for another day, I think. Sermon, reaction?
Fine, this can wait. Not in front of the king.
And Sir Ameg turns toward Earl Roderick. And very quietly, just so only you and Earl Roderick can hear, and he says, do not worry, my Lord Roderick. I will soon wipe this shit stain from your court.
Oh, fuck.
And Earl Roderick is, like, tosses his cup down, and it shatters. And he's like, damn you, Sir Ameg. I thought you a better man than this. And Ameg storms off with, like, 3 squires in tow.
Success.
And Robert just bursts out laughing. Oh, wait. I was going to talk to Amy. He just bounced? Okay.
Yep, he bounced.
All right.
Yeah, you were going to talk, but Sermon came over and cockblocked you.
Robert just turns to Servant and is like, it was nice knowing you.
Hey, that guy caused Dobbin to die.
That's one way to look at it. Sure.
Robert just like, nah. And he goes off to flirt with some... Is his wife here?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so he'll go hit on his wife.
Okay, alright.
Sorry.
She's receptive to that, of course.
Yeah.
Um...
So he'll go be charming and, like, he'll introduce her to people and
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm interested to see
this.
how well this goes.
Oh, fine, it didn't go well. Not go well.
Okay.
At least it wasn't a
Your
20.
wife is tired of your shit because you keep...
Yeah.
Like, this... You guys are still in this argument all winter over whether or not she killed a Saxon, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, tonight, she's like... Ugh, Robert. Ugh. And you're like, oh, come on, honey, let's go talk to Sir Ameg. He was my commander for the Battle of Miracrete Creek. And she's like, ugh. Ugh. And she goes to talk
Robert's
over...
he's just complimenting her about how pretty and dainty she is, and she's like, are you
What
trying to
happens
say
is-
that I'm too pretty and small and petite to kill a Saxon? I was like, no.
She does that thing that in medieval times where she goes over to another group of women and they form a shield around her between you and her. So
And
she's
Robert's like-
surrounded by like a gaggle of handmaidens who block you whenever you try to get over to her. She turns away from you, like no matter where you are in the room, her back is always to you. Your wife is mad, dog.
House.
Anyone has anything else that they'd like to do?
So, as I said before, Aurelius wishes to go up and speak with Bishop Dobricus.
Dubricus, okay. Bishop Dubricus turns to you and says, Aurelius, I understand that you have completed work on your church.
Yes, my lord, and I have gone and completed the task that you assigned to me. At the village, I found a fey creature attempting to sway the villagers into the worship of the Dark Lord Satan, and I dispatched the heretical elf. The villagers have since been turned back to the correct way of worship.
He says, yes, of course, I've already read the report. My apologies for not coming out to greet you. I hope that you were sufficiently pleased with the young man I installed in your chapel.
Yes, my lord. I only stopped to inquire whether the church has any more need of my services. I am always ready to place my hand and my sword at her service.
He says, I have heard much of your piety recently, Sir Aurelius. The common folk speak that you hand out great charity among your manor.
Well, after the sad passing of my dearly departed wife, Lady Honor, I felt it was only right that I used the wealth that was given to me to enrich the family that I was going to raise to help the rest of God's children, as that the rest was sadly taken away from me.
So he takes a drink from his cup and says, "How is your bastard?"
I do my best to shoulder the burden, my lord. I raise her in my family, and she is being brought up in the ways of the church.
This is excellent. Well, I'll tell you what, Aurelius, it is good to have a strong... So, like, the whole time he's talking at you, he's, like, looking away from you. He's, like, trying to get somebody else's attention. He's like,
Yeah.
I may have some future work for you. Know that the Lord looks down upon you. The Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost all bless you.
So, yeah, he's going on autopilot. Got it?
Yep. And then he's like, I apologize. I have some important business. And you see him step away and move toward Duke Ulfius.
Okay.
Suppose I'll ask around a little bit. I'm not super interested, but I'm just not hungry, so I need to do something else.
Okay. You spend most of that time, like, you're talking to the servant, but you're looking at their food. And the servant's like, can I help you, my lord? And you're like, yeah, that chicken looks good. Oh, if I didn't have a stomach ache. And he's like, I have news from afar I could tell you. And you're like, oh, give me a sec. I gotta figure out if I can eat this.
Thank you.
Does anyone have anything else they'd like to do?
Can I make a courtesy roll to find out any information about, like,
You
was
could
that
simply
like one they
speak
go
to? I mean,
yeah.
there's like 3 quest NPCs you can speak to.
Can I
There's
speak
the
to
High
these
King,
NPCs?
Uther,
Yeah.
sitting on the throne doing royal conversation. There's also Madoc and Ulfius handing news from afar. And of course, there's the servants for intrigue.
I'll go to Prince Madoc and introduce myself.
Okay, so you have to wait in line, right?
Yeah.
You're pretty low ranking. So, I mean, you're actually like one of the lowest ranked knights. You have heredity, so you get to cut in front of a bunch of other knights. But, you know, it's like an hour before you get to him. And Madoc, there we go. Got the Madoc picture. You're presented to Madoc, and he says, I apologize, sir. You seem familiar to me. Have we met before?
Yes, my prince. So he bows and introduces himself, saying, yes, my prince. Last year.
He says, it is my greatest shame that I do not recall you. You are Richard.
So Robert, my prince.
And then, like, one of the servants sings, Robert, battled with your father at Mere Creek. He says, yes, of course, Robert, you're the one the squires are talking about. Yes, I heard you disemboweled that mounted Saxon. God, it was surprising to see him there, wasn't it?
The only good Saxon's dead Saxon.
Because I agree completely.
How did you
have
fare, my
news.
prince? Oh, okay,
On
I was
that
gonna ask you.
regard,
All right. Yeah.
the Admiral is seeking volunteers to raid the Saxons up and down the coast of the Saxon shore. The objective is to destroy as many of their ships as possible before their summer raids. And then he waves his fingers and dismisses you.
It would be my honor if I had the opportunity to join you, my lord. And then he bows and leaves.
Perhaps you will join us. Perhaps you will. Anyone like to talk to anyone else?
You know what? I'll give Duke Ulfius a shot.
Okay.
So, what is he Duke of?
So Duke Ulfius, I believe he is.
Wait, isn't he Duke Ulfius of Silchester?
Not certain. I'm really gonna have to look this up. The important part is that he is the king's bodyguard.
He is what?
The king's bodyguard. Yes, he is Duke Ulfius of Silchester.
Those guys we hate?
Well, you only hate the steward of Levcom, I guess.
Yeah.
Of a
And you
specific
really hate
city.
him, man.
Some of you really hate him. It's not like that guy from the... What was his name? Brooke?
Crocheter at the Green
Halls?
Halls.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, my brother really
Yeah.
hated him. He might not like me for that, but I don't know him.
Well, I mean, he hates your brother, right, Rook? So he, maybe instead of taking hates Rook, maybe he just took hates your family.
That's what I was
Oh,
thinking.
shit.
We'll see.
I don't really hate him though.
Okay, so again, you spent about an hour approaching Ulfius, and by the end of it, Ulfius is somewhat aged man, salt and pepper hair, full beard, wax mustache, and says, "Sir Aurelius, is it?"
Yes, my lord.
Says, "Ah, yes. I've heard of you around the castle. They say that you hand out your pennies to peasants."
I do my best to make the lot of the followers in the land as I do my best to alleviate the suffering of those around and follow in the teaching of Christ.
So he puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "There are many knights who would look down upon you for helping your peasantry, but I am not one of them. A man must be kind to his people. I have news from the east. Would you like to hear it?
Of course, my lord.
The victorious Saxon King Aethelswaith, the new Saxon, has taken to calling himself the King of the Eastern Saxons. No one cares. Soon we will eliminate him." And then he gives you the double finger for you to be dismissed.
Okay. I bow and pull myself back.
Anyone else?
I think if you guys want, how much to talk to Earl Roderick and see what he knows about, what's coming this year. Anyone? I mean, Robert will do it if no one else does.
Okay.
I'll join you.
Yeah.
Perhaps we can
Yeah.
present ourselves
Yes.
at the same time.
Hmm.
Find
You
out.
approach Earl Roderick, and he's like, "Robert Aurelius, Sermond is a loose cannon. Aye. Robert, I know you once held a
Loose
position
crossbow
of
bolt, perhaps?
primacy among your squad, but now Sermond is ranked highest among you. You must act as a good lieutenant to him and try to keep him in order as best you can. There is a technique that begun in our times called managing up. I trust you understand how to do it."
Robert just nods. I shall do my best, my lord.
"That is excellent." He looks over at his own lord, King Uther, and says, "Yes, perhaps one day when you are done insulting my wife, if you ever rise to my rank of count, or Earl, it would be a good skill to have practice. Excuse me while I go lick some boots." No, he doesn't say that. He says, what do you require of me, Sir Robert Aurelius?"
Simply that we wish to know if there is any way in which we may be of particularly effective service to you in the next year, my lord.
So he turns in profile to you and puts his hand on his dagger at his right side, but he's like left-sided to you guys, and looks out of the left side of his eyes at you and says, "That is an interesting question. Stay for the feast tonight. Your questions will be answered."
All right. And we just bow and
Bow
Step back.
and retreat,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
I go and tell the other guys about Prince Madoc intends to take boats and raid along the Saxon coast to destroy their ships and raid their villages.
Oh, my brother wish he was here for that.
opportunity. It might be a great opportunity to impress upon the royals and possibly the next king of England.
Indeed.
Oh, not England. Was he the king? Well, the next Pendragon.
Oh, he is the Pendragon now, but he is not yet High King of.
Yeah,
Have to be
that's what I
voted
said.
so by the 33 councilmen or kings of the island of Britain.
Yeah.
All right, I need to
We
step
gotta impress
aside
the
for
next
like
Pendragon.
2 minutes, so we're gonna take a short break here, and I need to wait.
All right.
All right, sounds good.
I'm gonna get some breakfast biryani.
That sounds fantastic. All right, so we'll be back in just 2 minutes here, guys.